Hello. Hey, friends. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. This is Lisa with Hand Stamped with Lisa, and it is Wednesday coffee and craft and coffee, chat and craft, all of the things. So I've got some really fun things that I am bringing to you today that I am excited about. Lots of more sneak peeks and a really, really fun little bundle that I've been playing with and a wee bit obsessed. I'm not going to lie. So good morning. I hope that you guys are all having a great day. It is beginning to be spring-like here, which is always very, very exciting. I love that. So let me just make sure we're getting you all in the right spots. Perfect. All right. Let me see if I can do this. All right, good. I'm just going to make me a little bit bigger here, so that I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Perfect. All right. So good morning. Happy Wednesday. I am here with you with a couple of fun projects. If you are watching live, go ahead and say hello this morning. If you are watching via replay, go ahead and type in replay. First up, I got housekeeping to do. I've got housekeeping to do, not actual housekeeping. You know, that's not one of my favorite things, but I do have some things I want to tell you about. So important that I wrote them down on a piece of scratch paper so it makes them very, very important. First of all, remember that every week when you watch and comment, you are entered in the weekly giveaway. And so last week's winner is Heather Stahl. So Heather, you just need to email me your mailing address at handstampedwithlisa@gmail.com, and I will get some goodies in the mail to you. So make sure that you are commenting and liking and sharing and doing all of those good things so you can be a winner too. Winning is fun, my friends. Winning is fun. Couple of things to think about. So May 2nd and 3rd. So today is the last day of April. Where did it go? And if you guys, I feel like May is a crazy month. May is absolutely a crazy month. Good morning, Susan. It's always been, I remember when my kids were little, we would be like moms against May because it's Mother's Day, it's the end of things, it's sports, it's like they have to bring something new to school like every day. It's just such a crazy, crazy time. And even now that my kids are grown, still May is crazy. It's like you got to get busy in the yard, and if you don't get busy right away, you feel like you're behind in the yard, like all of the things. But our new catalog also launches in May. So that is very, very exciting. I am really, really loving the vibe of this catalog. I think it's really strong, really good, something for everyone, which I love. So here are some dates that I want you to remember. May 2nd and 3rd, Stampin'Up is doing double rewards. We've changed our reward policy, and I am obsessed with it. I love it. So you earn rewards every single time you shop, which I think is amazing. And then you can use them the next time you shop. So May 2nd and 3rd, they're doing double rewards. So you'll earn twice as much. So a really, really good time to take advantage of that. Mark that date down. And then May 6th is a starter kit special. If you have ever thought of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or if you're like, Lisa, I spend enough that I could support myself, the starter kit is a great thing, particularly with a new catalog. You can get $165 worth of product for just $99. That feels like a no-brainer to me. So if you are a passionate paper crafter, or you are just simply spending that $300 a quarter on product, why not be your own best shopper? Why not, right? And I think sending hand stamped cards is like our great way of putting a little love into the world. So think about that. If you have questions about it, you can email me or DM me here. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. You do have to do a quarterly minimum, but for most of my favorite stampers, that is not a stretch. That is not a stretch. And you also get to be part of our group, which is super fun. We just did a mystery stamping last week that was really great, and we're doing bingo, and we're planning a fall retreat, so something that you might want to think about and take advantage of. The other thing that's happening, May 6th, I believe, I should have written this down better, but my friend Julie Salva has a monthly Julie and Friends on her YouTube, and I am going to be one of her stamping friends in May. So I'm super excited. It is Julie and myself, and I believe 2 other stampers who are much better than I am. You are not going to want to miss it, but it is only going to be done on YouTube. So make sure that you scoot over to YouTube. I am putting a couple new videos up today, but so May 6th, it'll be like we're all going to share projects. The first one's going to be all new colors, so you're going to see some new color inspiration. The next week is going to be new stamp sets, so you'll see some fun new things there too. But it's really fun because you get to watch three or four of us. We each do like a 15-minute video. and then you get to vote on your favorite one. So, but only over on YouTube. So go Hand Stamped with Lisa Prato on YouTube, and I'll link it here later. But if you want to do that, so that starts May 6th. I'm super excited about that. Learning all the things. So that is what I have. So I've got some super fun projects to share with you today. So let me do this. I'm just going to sneak that camera around so you can see the stamping portion of it. Okay, so these are the 2 cards that I'm going to show you today, and I'm a little bit obsessed with a couple of things that are on these projects. So what I love about this is you see how it, like, there's this raised, you can see that, and then this opens, and then that's the card. I learned a little something making this one. That is not a good place to put a bow. So the bow goes on the other side when I create it for you today. But I did this, and what I used on this is one of the things that I'm really, really obsessed with. So Stampin'Up has this set. It's called a hybrid embossing folder. So this is the embossing folder. It has all of these greetings on it. And if I bring it up, it's very hard to see on a camera, but can you see all the greetings on there? Right, if we open it up. And so what you do is you cut your cardstock 6 inches wide. You need a 6-inch piece of cardstock, and that will go through that. And so it dry embosses all of those images, but then it comes with this as well. So this lays right on top of that piece that you just ran through the embossing machine. Die cut and embossing machine, still learning names, still a little shaky, but then it cuts them all out. And so it cuts them all out, and so I want to show you some of the things that I made with this. Like I said, I'm super obsessed with this little duo. It's in the new catalog. Stampin' Up! Demonstrators were able to order it early, but I love this. So if you look at this one is a Thinking of You, and then this one is a Get Well. And what I did is after I embossed it, I'm going to show you this too. I added a little color to it, so I'll show you that as well. Look at how this card is so, so cute. So you can see that little hello on there, new paper. This is a little bit of strawberry slush, which is one of my new favorites. Then I have this one here. This one says Celebrate. So you can see that, super cute with this little cutout. I mean, how darling is that little cutout? Oh, I love this set. You'll definitely see more of this. And then this one, love this one. You know that I love a lot of texture. So this is a new embossing folder here. I think it's called the Damask embossing folder. A little bit of designer series paper. That thank you embossed there. So, so cute. So I love that. So I'm going to show you, we're going to make together this card, only we're going to make it the smart way. We're not going to put the bow where you got to keep fussing with it every time you open it. Live and learn, my friends. Live and learn. Don't make my mistakes, right? So super, super great. Good morning, Heather. I know, black and white, I love. And this one is black and white, but I think I'm using the other one that I love is this Storm Sea. Do you see I don't know if you can see the difference on the camera, but you see this is like black, and this is like this really beautiful, just grayed a wee bit. I feel like this sits a little bit more elegant. Black can sometimes go a little heavy to me, but I love black and white together. I think it's so, so pretty. So I want to show you how we are going to make this card. So for cardstock, I have a piece of black that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because that's going to be the base of my card. And then I have a piece of Whisper White. One of these is the ones that I want, I believe. But we want that white piece to be just a little bit smaller, because if you look at this card, you see how that black part is going to be the base of it. This white cardstock is thin, and it really is a little too thin to sit by itself as a card, and adding that back layer makes such a difference, particularly in this kind of card. But I did it with colored cardstock with the whole card, and then just added a white layer inside. So lots of different ways to do this little technique. So this little guy needs to be just a smidge smaller. So I'm just going to grab my cutter here and make that little bit of difference. So we just need to go 5 1/4. And then we need to just scoot off 1/4 of an inch this way as well. Well, actually, we don't even. I'm lying. We don't even need to cut that, because we're going to cut it different. So this. Does anyone else save these pieces? I feel like I have like some grand project that I'm going to do with all these pieces. Like I'm going to weave something together. Don't ask me why I can't get rid of them. It sounds kind of foolish, but that is where I am with that. So we've got this piece of white cardstock, and what we're going to start is we're just going to fold it. And I do want to score it. I do want to score it because I want it to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to score it at 4 inches. So by scoring it at 4 inches, it's going to sit perfectly. Right? So we just scored that, fold it, good to go. All right, so we know that now when I lay this on here, it's going to layer really, really nicely. Even though this is a little big, don't let that concern you. Don't let that concern you. All right, so what we're going to do at this point is we are going to create a die cut out of this. If you look at this one with the circle, right? So I'm just cutting a circle out of there. And so the way that we're going to do that is I am going to take, let's see, here we go, Stylish Shapes. This is my most reached for, obsessed with all of these shapes. I love this. And it's funny because I thought like, oh, squares, why would I use that square? But you can see in this card, when you turn it on its side, that would have been really tricky to cut freehand, where we think, oh, a square we can do. Really, really easy to do that as well. So we are going to take a circle, and I'm just going to take a peek. Yes, so I took 1, 2, so you can see I took like that middle circle, and I'm also going to need that circle that's just a wee bit smaller. So I'm going to take that out as well, since we're going to be using both of those. So what I have to do at this point is I have to die cut this so that that circle sits on there. Now, one of the things that really the only tricky thing that you have to do with this is you have to make sure that this circle can sit on the inside. So I just kind of eyeballed it, and so that I don't go over that. So that's where that's going to sit. Now, I think this little masking tape, right, little washi tape to hold that in place. The tricky thing you want to think about is when you're doing that, I do find that it sticks sometimes to the outside. So I'm just going to put it on there and very lightly tap it on, and I'm just going to run that through the embossing and die cut machine. Again, I'm going to take, this tells me exactly what I need to use. I'm doing a thin die, so I know that I need 1. I need 2. I'm going to open this up so I can run my die cut through, right? And then I'm just going to sandwich it between these 2 guys. So let me do that real quick. I get that through my machine. All right, so we ran that through, and we've got our little hole there, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to cut this front flap so that when it closes, it sits with this part, right? We need to cut this little part off right here in order to make that fun little opening. Now, when we measure this, we want to think about this back one is 2 by 2. I don't like to put it right in the middle because I feel like that goes off a little bit. So you want to think about how much you want to cut off to make that work. So if you can see on here, I'll pull this up for you. Right, so I'm just putting this in my thing, and I just want to give myself a little bit of that circle on the left so that it can fold over on it. So I'm going to go, and so don't worry about it being precise. I'm going to cut off about just over 2 inches, just a smidge there. And I'm going to cut that piece off and set it to the side. And then you can see this is going to be my card front. Now, I want to add a little bit of texture to this card front for a little bit more interest. When you're sticking with something that is just white or doesn't have that many, we want to make sure that we just give it a little bit of interest. And so what I'm going to use is one of these embossing folders. Also new from the catalog, this is called Glass and Gardens Embossing Folder, and I'm going to use this top one right here. This bottom one, by the way, I've been playing with a little bit. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is stunning. And so watch for some cards using that one as well, because I do like that quite a bit. And so I'm going to do my dry embossing just on the front here. So when we open this up, this is going to sit right in there, right at the crease. So we're going to put that in. So we're just doing the front fold of that card, and we're going to take that over to our machine again so that we can give that a quick emboss. So lay that down, grab my embossing guy. And so this one, let's see, this is a typical standard embossing folder. So standard embossing folder we're going to use with one and then both of those clear 3s. So I'm going to put that in. I could do this in front of you, but I feel like the camera wiggles so much when you do it right under there. So bear with me as you get a blank screen for a hot minute here while we put this through. Do you see that? Woo! Because we're only doing part of it. It gave that really heavy push. So you can see here, we've got this great, and if you get it off a little bit, don't worry about it too much because you're going to be tacking that down to the black piece anyway. So we've got that in there. It gives a little bit of texture to that card front, right? And so now we need to do our layering. So I've got that circle that I originally cut out. And so again, that masking tape, it likes to stick a little bit with that washi tape. So if it sticks too much, then we just have to do a new one, which is no big deal. So let's see if we can get this off. Let's just do a new one. Who wants to fuss around with that stuff, right? So I've got a piece of white cardstock. We're going to put both of these, and we don't have to worry about putting any washi tape on this time because we're just going to be sending it through just as is. So we're going to put that in, and we have our thin dies. So we need our little sandwich is going to be 1, 2, one of those clear plates. Then we're going to take this guy over, put him on, and we're going to go ahead and run that through as well and just create those 2 little circles. Now, I have always been a really big fan of punches. I always felt like embossing, like these die cuts were a little bit, I don't know, like fussy, right? But what I'm finding is that I really am liking working with these die cuts a lot more. I think because they've gotten better over time and they're a little bit easier to use and they make a little bit more sense to me. So we've got both of our circles there. So that is the next part of that. So both of our circles that we're going to be doing. So now really it's super, super simple. You've done all the heavy lifting and there was minimal heavy lifting. Are we right? Like minimal heavy lifting. So we're just going to give ourselves some snail on that black and we're going to attach that white cardstock that we have cut the circle out of, emboss the front, giving ourselves a little bit of interest there. And now we've got these 2 circles and we're going to pull in this die that we did with that really fun embossing folder. This one says love you, super cute. Now to make these pop a little bit more, I like to take the coordinating stamp pad and just a little sponge dauber. We're just going to go with a little sponge dauber here. So I'm going to take that in there and I'm just going to rub this over, and it just gives a little bit more depth to that greeting so that it pops a little bit more on the page. It is still going to be really, really subtle, but I feel like it just gives it a nice little pop so that you can see that greeting just a little bit better. And again, I'll pull that up. Isn't that just so cute? I love that. Love, love, love. So at this point, ribbon. Now, we've learned from our mistake, right? So we are going to do our ribbon and we're going to put it on the outside of the card rather than the inside of the card. So as I'm doing this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this white linen thread and I'm just going to tie it and I'm going to put a little knot in it. I wanted this bow to be a little bit fuller, and so I'm just going to tie this little piece on here first, right? So you can see it's just right like that, and we'll cut that off. And then I'm going to take another length of this ribbon, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it back on itself, right? So we're just going to give it a couple little turns here, folding back on itself, like that. Much easier to do it up here than when you're doing it, trying to do it on your card. So really easy. I've just got it pinched together in my finger, and I'm going to lay it on the middle of that knot that I just tied, hold it there, and then just tie another knot. Super, super simple. And then you can fuss with it a little bit, pull it how you want it to sit, and then tie one more so it's really secure on there. All right, so that is your little bow. And again, on the side of the card that is not going to get closed on. So that's going to sit right there. All right, so I'm going to grab a dimensional or 2 and pop that up. Actually, I'm probably going to grab like 3 dimensionals. I love a good dimensional. Makes my heart happy. This card has like all the things that I love. It has lots of white space, lots of texture, and lots of depth. And those are the things that I have always loved when I'm stamping. If I try to get too fussy, too fancy, I don't know. That is not my vibe. I don't seem to do quite as well with it. So we can see that that just clicks right there so that that guy opens. Really, really simple. And then we're going to take our white one and we're going to put a few more dimensionals on that. Now, if you're like me, old school, I need to know, everybody else, do you cut and use all of these? I was somewhere and somebody was like, oh no, I throw those away. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, those are some of the best parts of the whole thing. It's like when you like the crust on bread, right? Crust is the best part. So good. So we're just going to put this one right in the middle there. And then we're going to take the Love You and we're going to go with just these smaller dimensionals on the back and stick a couple of those on there so that pops up as well. So the nice thing about this is when you use that hybrid embossing folder that I showed you, it makes, I think it's like 12 or 13 little greetings. And so you could just run, like if you have, it takes 6 inches. So you could run like a whole bunch of those, put them in a little pile so that you have them. And then they would just be so easy to use. So of course nothing is complete without a little bit of sparkle on here. So I'm just going to grab some rhinestones. There's so many new and different little sparkly options in there, but I am old school. Again, I love the simplicity of the rhinestone. I think it just looks so pretty. We'll just pop a couple on there, and that is the card. Like I said, super, super easy, but I think it's just very impactful. So there is that one, and then that is the inspo. So much smarter on the outside, right? And then this is the one, we just changed that up a little bit and put the black cardstock as the base and then just added the white in the middle. But again, that hybrid embossing powder is or hybrid embossing folder is so cute. Like, I'm just obsessed with how fun these are and how simple they are. Like I said, I'm going to take a bunch of cardstock and run it through there and do that. So that is the cute little project I have for you, but I also have a question for you. So let me turn around here real quick. All right, good morning. Hey, Jane, thanks. Oh, thank you. So I've got 2 other cards that I want to show you. So I told you next May 6th, so that's probably sometime next week, right? I'm going to be doing on YouTube, I am doing the Julie and Friends contest challenge thing, and so I will be one of the 4 stampers, and we are sharing new in colors, new colors, so those new in colors. So I have 2 cards that I'm thinking about doing for that because I want to win. I want to win. You know that about me. I like to win. So I have 2 cards that I made that showcase new colors, and so I'm going to have you guys vote for me. I'm going to have you guys help me on this. So I'm going to zoom back down and I'm going to show you these 2 cards that I think they're both really cute, but you can either vote for the black one or the orange one. Those are your options. So let me show you these. So this, I said it's black because it's just the easiest way to talk about it, but this is that Stormy Sky. Really I love this color, really beautiful. And then the yellow one, I don't know what the yellow one's called. You guys probably know what the yellow one's called. Daffodil, we'll see. But really, really cute. I love this. It uses those circles that I was just using today, and then we popped them out and put a little bit of texture behind them and then use those circles as well, and I thought that was really, really fun. And then I have this one as well. So this one uses the Tiger Twist, Tiger Tide, yeah, strawberry slush and white, but it's got some new paper on it as well, and so this just slides out there for that cute little card. So I need you to help me. I need you to help me decide which of these I should do for the color contest. The circle one, that's the Stormy Sky, or the thank you card in orange. I think they're both really cute. I like them both. I'm not gonna lie. I think they both have the potential to be winners. I think they could be contenders, but I'd love to know your thoughts on that. And so again, I just want to go over those dates with you that I talked about. May 2nd and 3rd, double rewards. Remember, Stampin'Up has that new rewards system where you earn rewards every single time you purchase. So I love that. Double rewards on those days. May 6th, starter kit special. So if you are a savvy shopper and you want to get a good discount, or you're like, gosh, I would love to teach crafts online. That sounds like a really great thing for me to do. I would love to talk with you about that. That is an option. And then again, make sure you're following my YouTube channel, Hand Stamped with Lisa Pareto. Susan likes the black one. I do too. I think it's just really fun. Hand Stamped with Lisa Pareto over on YouTube, because that is where all of these challenges are going to be taking place, and I need some fans. I need some people over there cheering me on. Something new and different. And then also, May is my birthday month. I am turning the grand number of 60 on May 13th. Cannot believe it. I think it was weirder when my daughter turned 30. I'm like, I don't have a 30-year-old kid. Oh my goodness. But 60, proud, happy to be turning 60 on May. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of giveaways there as well. So stay tuned for some of those. And thank you guys for joining me this morning for coffee and chat. So, oh, Jane voted the dark one too. Susan liked the dark one. Heather said orange. Oh, you guys. Maybe I'll do them both and just surprise and be like, surprise, 2 projects. I think I should win just for that. Right? So thanks for joining me for Wednesday Coffee and Craft. Honestly, I'm underwater because I had my coffee already and I'm a 1-cupper. I'm a 1-cupper of coffee. But I love these projects that I shared today. I'm the embossing folder with the matching die cut to create all those sentiments. I think that's going to be a really big win. I think it's just a really fun way to add a lot of dimension to a card and make it look a little bit different. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you here next week if I don't see you on YouTube before. Thanks, friends.